In 2025, a surprising trend is unfolding. Some countries are quietly banning American travelers without headlines, without fanfare, and most people have no idea it's even happening. Is this a sign of shifting global alliances, or something deeper that's being kept out of the spotlight? In today's video, we'll uncover the 10 countries that are silently shutting their doors to Americans, and the reasons behind it might shock you. But before we dive in, here's a quick one. Which country is home to the Eiffel Tower? Easy, right? Drop your answer in the comments. And here's something to think about. What really happens if an American banned from one country enters another that secretly supports the ban? I'll answer that as we go, so make sure you watch till the end. Country number 10, North Korea. In 2025, North Korea remains one of the most inaccessible destinations for American travelers. The U.S. State Department has extended its travel ban, initially imposed in 2017, citing serious risks of arrest and long-term detention for U.S. citizens. This decision follows incidents like the tragic case of Otto Warmbier, a U.S. student who suffered fatal injuries while in North Korean custody. Currently, U.S. passports are invalid for travel to, in, or through North Korea unless specially validated, which is rarely granted and typically reserved for humanitarian or journalistic purposes. Even as North Korea cautiously reopens certain regions to foreign tourists, such as the Raisin Special Economic Zone, these opportunities remain off-limits to Americans due to the ongoing travel restrictions. For those intrigued by the enigmatic allure of North Korea, it's essential to understand the complexities and risks involved. The country's strict control over information and movement means that even minor infractions can lead to severe consequences. While some tour operators offer packages to specific areas for citizens of other countries, Americans are advised to adhere strictly to the travel ban. Attempting to circumvent these restrictions not only poses personal risks, but also legal repercussions upon return to the United States. As we continue exploring other countries with similar restrictions, the case of North Korea serves as a stark reminder of the importance of staying informed and cautious in international travel. Country number 9, Iran. Traveling to Iran as an American in 2025 is akin to navigating a complex labyrinth, possible but fraught with challenges. The U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory for Iran, citing risks such as terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, and arbitrary arrest of U.S. citizens. While entry isn't outright banned, the process is intricate. U.S. citizens must obtain a visa in advance, which involves securing a travel authorization number through a licensed Iranian tour operator. Independent travel is not permitted. Americans are required to be accompanied by a government-approved guide throughout their stay. The visa application process can take several weeks, and travelers must adhere strictly to a pre-approved itinerary. Despite these hurdles, some Americans are drawn to Iran's rich cultural heritage and historical sites. However, it's crucial to weigh the risks carefully. Iranian authorities have been known to detain U.S. citizens, particularly those with dual nationality, on charges such as espionage. Consular access is often denied, leaving detainees without support. For those considering a visit, it's essential to stay informed and exercise extreme caution. As we continue exploring countries with stringent restrictions on American travelers, Iran serves as a stark reminder of the complexities involved in international travel. Country number 8, Russia. In 2025, traveling to Russia as an American feels less like a vacation plan and more like stepping into a Cold War thriller minus the Hollywood glamour. With ongoing tensions between Washington and Moscow, Russia has significantly tightened its visa policies for U.S. citizens. You can't just book a ticket and grab your passport. Now getting a Russian visa is a paperwork marathon, and approvals are anything but guaranteed. Even if you do get that elusive stamp, don't expect a warm welcome. The U.S. Department of State strongly advises against all travel to Russia, citing risks such as harassment, arbitrary detentions, and the unpredictable enforcement of local laws, where a casual selfie near a government building could turn into a diplomatic incident. But here's where it gets even more serious. If you're arrested in Russia as an American, don't count on your embassy swooping in to rescue you with a private jet. Due to the drastically reduced diplomatic presence, help may not come at all or not in time. U.S. officials have repeatedly warned that Americans in Russia could be used as political pawns, especially during times of heightened tensions. It's a chilling thought. Imagine visiting for a football match and ending up in a Siberian holding cell. So, unless you're planning a cameo in the next international spy drama, it might be wise to keep Russia off your travel bucket list for now. But the question is, could Americans become targets elsewhere too? Keep watching, because some of the next countries on this list are even more unpredictable. Country number 7, Venezuela. In 2025, Venezuela remains a high-risk destination for American travelers, with the U.S. Department of State maintaining its Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory. This warning is due to widespread violent crime, civil unrest, poor health infrastructure, and the arbitrary arrest and detention of U.S. citizens. The U.S. Embassy in Caracas suspended operations in 2019, leaving the U.S. government with no ability to provide emergency services to its citizens in Venezuela. Security forces have detained U.S. citizens for extended periods, sometimes up to 5 years, without proper consular access. Additionally, demonstrations are often met with a strong police response, including the use of tear gas and rubber bullets, and can devolve into looting and vandalism. The political landscape further complicates matters. Following the contested 2024 presidential election, the U.S. recognized opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez as the legitimate president, leading to increased tensions with Nicolas Maduro's government. In response, Venezuela has faced renewed U.S. sanctions, particularly targeting its oil sector, which is vital to its economy. The strained diplomatic relations mean that American travelers have limited recourse in emergencies. Given these factors, it's advisable for U.S. citizens to avoid travel to Venezuela at this time. Country number 6, Cuba. In 2025, Cuba remains an alluring yet complex destination for American travelers. While U.S. citizens can legally visit the island, tourism for leisure purposes is prohibited. Instead, travel must align with one of the 12 authorized categories established by the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, such as family visits, educational activities, journalistic endeavors, or humanitarian projects. The support for the Cuban people category has become a popular option, allowing travelers to engage with local entrepreneurs and stay in privately owned accommodations, thereby fostering meaningful interactions with Cuban citizens. However, navigating these regulations requires diligence. Travelers must maintain detailed records of their activities for up to 5 years, demonstrating compliance with the authorized category under which they traveled. Additionally, certain accommodations and businesses linked to the Cuban military are off-limits, necessitating careful planning to avoid inadvertent violations. While the island's vibrant culture and history beckon, it's crucial for prospective visitors to thoroughly understand and adhere to the current regulations to ensure a lawful and enriching experience. Country number 5, Afghanistan. In 2025, Afghanistan stands as one of the most perilous destinations for American travelers. Following the Taliban's return to power in 2021, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul suspended operations, relocating its diplomatic presence to Doha, Qatar. the U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory for Afghanistan, citing risks such as terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, wrongful detention, and limited healthcare facilities. The absence of a U.S. diplomatic mission within the country severely limits the government's ability to assist American citizens in emergencies. Moreover, the Taliban's governance has led to unpredictable enforcement of laws, increasing the danger for foreign visitors. For those contemplating a visit, it's crucial to understand that the risks extend beyond typical travel concerns. The potential for being caught in violent incidents or facing arbitrary detention is significant. While some may be enticed by the allure of adventure or the desire to witness Afghanistan's rich history firsthand, the current security situation renders such endeavors exceedingly hazardous. Travelers are strongly advised to heed official warnings and prioritize their safety above all else. Country number 4. Syria. In 2025, Syria remains one of the most perilous destinations for American travelers. The U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory, citing risks such as terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, hostage-taking, armed conflict, and unjust detention. The U.S. Embassy in Damascus suspended operations in 2012, leaving the U.S. government unable to provide any routine or emergency consular services to its citizens in Syria. The security situation is further complicated by the presence of various armed groups, including Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, and remnants of ISIS, which continue to pose significant threats to civilians and foreign nationals. The dangers are not limited to active conflict zones. Even areas that might appear stable can quickly become hazardous due to the unpredictable nature of the conflict and the activities of extremist groups. The risk of wrongful detention is also a serious concern, with reports of U.S. citizens being detained without access to fair judicial processes. Given these factors, the U.S. government strongly advises against all travel to Syria. For those considering a visit, it's crucial to understand that the risks extend beyond typical travel concerns and can have severe, life-threatening consequences. Country number 3. Yemen. In 2025, Yemen remains one of the most perilous destinations for American travelers. The U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory, citing risks such as terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, armed conflict, and landmines. The U.S. Embassy in Sana'a suspended its operations in February 2015, leaving the U.S. government unable to provide emergency services to its citizens in Yemen. Terrorist groups, including Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, AQAP, and Islamic State affiliates, continue to plot and conduct attacks, particularly in Al-Baida, Abyan, and Shabwa governorates. Foreign nationals are frequently targeted for kidnapping and carjacking, especially when traveling outside urban areas. The destruction of basic infrastructure, including housing, medical facilities, and utilities, has severely limited access to electricity, clean water, and medical care in affected areas. The humanitarian crisis in Yemen has reached catastrophic levels. As of early 2025, an estimated 19.5 million people require humanitarian assistance and protection services, with nearly half the population unable to meet basic food needs. Malnutrition rates are critical, particularly in western coastal areas like Hodeidah, where 33% of the population is affected. The World Food Programme has suspended food shipments to Houthi-controlled regions after rebels seized a warehouse, exacerbating the hunger crisis. The United Nations has also suspended humanitarian operations in certain areas due to the detention of aid workers by Houthi forces. These developments underscore the severe risks and challenges facing anyone considering travel to Yemen. Country number 2. Myanmar, Burma. In 2025, Myanmar remains one of the most hazardous destinations for American travelers. Following the military coup in 2021, the U.S. Department of State has maintained a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory for Myanmar, citing risks such as civil unrest, armed conflict, and arbitrary enforcement of local laws. The military regime's extension of the state of emergency has led to widespread violence, with ethnic armed groups and pro-democracy forces controlling significant portions of the country. Foreign nationals, including Americans, face heightened risks of wrongful detention, limited access to healthcare, and restricted communication services. Recent natural disasters have further exacerbated the situation. A 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck near Mandalay in March 2025, causing significant casualties and infrastructure damage. The combination of ongoing armed conflict and natural disasters has overwhelmed emergency services, making it exceedingly difficult for foreign visitors to receive assistance. Given these conditions, the U.S. government strongly advises against all travel to Myanmar, emphasizing that the risks far outweigh any potential benefits of visiting the country. Country number 1, Brazil. In a significant policy shift, Brazil reinstated visa requirements for U.S. citizens on April 10, 2025, ending a 6-year period of visa-free travel. This decision aligns with Brazil's long-standing principle of reciprocity, as Brazilian nationals continue to require visas to enter the United States. The reinstated visa process is streamlined through an electronic system, allowing applicants to obtain a visa valid for up to 10 years, permitting multiple entries with stays limited to 90 days per year. Applicants must provide documentation such as a valid passport, proof of financial means, and a detailed travel itinerary. The visa fee is set at $80.90. This policy change reflects broader diplomatic dynamics and Brazil's commitment to equitable international relations. While the process is more accessible than traditional consular applications, it introduces additional planning steps for travelers. Prospective visitors are encouraged to apply well in advance of their intended travel dates to accommodate processing times. As Brazil continues to be a sought-after destination for its rich culture and natural beauty, understanding and complying with the new visa requirements is essential for a smooth travel experience. As we've journeyed through the 10 countries that have quietly imposed restrictions on American travelers in 2025, it's evident that the global travel landscape is shifting in unprecedented ways. From the complex visa reinstatements in Brazil to the severe security risks in nations like Syria and Yemen, these developments underscore the importance of staying informed and vigilant. Travel is no longer just about booking flights and packing bags. It's about understanding geopolitical nuances and ensuring personal safety. If you found this video insightful, please consider subscribing to Discovering the Earth for more in-depth analyses on global travel trends and geopolitical shifts. Your support helps us continue to provide valuable content that keeps you informed and prepared. Don't forget to like this video and share it with fellow travelers who might benefit from this information. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you experienced any unexpected travel restrictions recently? Drop your experiences and questions in the comments below. Let's navigate this evolving world together.